Everybody, welcome to Ed and Ken's mini podcast today. Today we're starting, Ed, with a deep breath, right? With a deep breath. We are our pre-show conversation talking about how the sausage is made and the frustrations that come with, being in this business. Sometimes it gets messy, but at the end of the day, we still have to get out there and teach and learn and bring as much value as we can to as many people as possible. And that's what you're trying to do. That's what you were definitely trying to do with this Adam Boxman event. And I'm hoping today I would have spent a decent amount of time on today's conversation with that Adam Boxman event and your biggest takeaways. So line it up. Who was Adam Boxman and what was he looking to teach you guys?
Yeah, so I didn't know Adam prior to this, but he has something that he teaches that's about the epic buyer experience. And he focuses a lot on buyers. He teaches other agents and other brokerages how to focus on buyers and the buyer experience. So here are some takeaways. And by the way, we're putting together a live event with him sometime not till October, but I'll make sure that your company, and all of your and our agent partners will be there, because
Awesome.
it is gold and it's all about efficiency and experience and referral. So here we go. Number one, 80% of consumers don't use the same agent the next time they buy a home. Now, let's pretend that some of those buyers buy in a different state or move out of the country or whatever. So let's pull that down to 50%. That's probably way too conservative, but 50 to 60.
So you're saying 50% that could use the same agent but choose not to.
They don't even know their name. They forget. They forget. Yep. Or they choose not to. I'll give you a perfect example. My house in Florida that I bought 10 years ago, you would literally have to, a person would have to literally write me a check for $50,000 to use the same agent that I used. They were that bad. So the next is like referral business is vital. And I talked about this before, and I'm teaching my agents to look at their LO and who they're using. And this is why. If I represent a buyer, and I know I do my job, man, and I nail it, man. Nail it. Great experience. But the LO drops the ball. That client will not use me the next time because the whole experience wasn't great. But I had nothing to do with it. And that's why, again, I didn't plan this, but why I love working with you is I know that experience is top notch. So what he talked about was a passive referral versus an active referral. This is really important. And this is what this whole podcast is going to be really about. I'll probably go on other tangents, but
so what is a passive referral?
Yeah, so a passive referral is if somebody came up to you and said, "Hey Ken, I'm in the real estate business. I'm having some problems with dynamics building my business and my team. But I'm not looking for a traditional like real estate coach. Can you recommend a coach for me?" What's the first name that pops up to you?
Ed Fordyce.
Cool. So that is a passive referral. Thank God you said that. We would have had to start all over again. But I saw your eyes go up to the right and you're like, do I want to say Ed?
Listen, I thought about messing with you, man, but I couldn't do it.
So that's a passive referral. You believe in me. You believe in what I do. You've experienced it. It's great. And that's awesome. What an active referral is you calling your agent partners saying, hey, look, I'm going to set you up with an appointment with who I believe is the best coach in the world. He not only will change your business, he will change your life. And yes, the teams that he's coaching right now, these are real numbers, are up 120%, 78%, 92%, while the others are down 60%. So
an active referral is someone taking proactive steps to bring business to someone versus a passive referral is when asked, they would say X. They would say this person.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you call it raving fans, call it whatever you want, but it's when they're out to dinner and they're talking about the soccer league or the little league or the basketball, right? And the 6 couples that go out to dinner that, live in Westtown Chase. They're like, hey, by the way, I had an incredible experience with this guy, Ken Jordan. If any of you are looking for any kind of funding, he's your guy. That is an active referral. Posting on social media. Hey, if you're looking for the best pizza in Delaware County, this is where you want to go. It is putting it out there, not waiting to be asked.
So what did Adam, since we're going to focus primarily on this takeaway, what did Adam talk about when it comes to, okay, we understand the difference between an active referral and a passive referral. Short answer is one better than the other.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
An active referral.
Active referral is better than a passive referral. All right. So how do you, and are there ways, aside from the experience, like obviously it's got to be great. It's got to be a referable experience, but how do you prompt active referrals from your past customers and your sphere?
Deliver an experience that they cannot help themselves, but yell from the mountaintops.
So it can't just be good. It's got to be great.
It's got to
world class.
It's got to be great.
Isn't it funny though that world class is attainable for sure, but how many people settle for good? How many people out there are like, hey, this was not a shitty transaction. Win. That's so far down the spectrum of acceptability, but it's how most salespeople, I'm going to loop them all together. That's how most salespeople gauge a successful transaction, is that it didn't suck.
Yeah. His thing was go deep into your clients' lives. Instead of the big fishing net, focus on them, and what that looks like is taking the time to send a video text rather than a written text. Remembering, hey, Ken, like it literally would be like I'd be doing a video. Hey, Ken, just wanted to drop a note. I'm sure you remember, but this time last year we were at the settlement table, and I just really appreciate your trust and your business. And I'm going to be dropping off pizza tonight because I know you guys love Pika's Pizza. Like that kind of stuff. Remembering authentically. This isn't something, and when you meet Adam, you can tell because he tells a story about his mother's passing. Right? It's a different kind of experience. It's a different kind of training. Right? So I'll give you an example. And the only reason why I talk about my experiences is because they're my experiences. One of my coaching calls yesterday was great agent, doing great business, and he just, in the course of the conversation, said, yeah, business is really good right now. My wife's pissed off at me though because I've been working late, and we had a snip this afternoon I snapped at her and I was like, all right, tell me what's happening there, what's going on. And it went into this deep conversation of like, when he gets that right, his business is going to be great. If his business is great and he continues to fail here, because I asked all the questions I want, how long has this been going on? I was like, all right, dude, like, this is what you're going to do. This is the tool you use to make this better. That's a difference. That's world. And he texted me later and he's like, dude, thanks so much for the talk. So Adam Boxman.
Yeah, what are components of a world-class buyer experience, high level? What are some of the things that he showed you? This has to be on every transaction. You got to do X, you got to do Y, and you got to do Z. Anything new?
Take the time up front. I'm looking at my notes right now. I wrote a lot of them. Don't take the shortcuts. Give me a second here.
So I think that consistency has to be part of it. And I think I think that's a similarity between both the mortgage and the real estate business. I work with buyers, buyer agents work with buyers. I don't work with sellers outside of maybe just an interaction at the settlement table. Understanding that I've sold houses myself, I know what it's like to be a seller, but my world is buyers. And I think that consistency creates credibility. One of the things I always tell my loan officers and the loan officers that I work with is, the old adage, don't overpromise and underdeliver. Don't say you're going to do something unless you are 100% sure you're going to do it. And I think that managing expectations in what they're going to see or hear from me at certain stages, trust is built on little agreements, right? So if I say, hey, I'm going to call you at 5:00 today, don't call at 5:01. You might think that's an innocuous, innocent, simple 5:01, 5:00. What difference does it make? But I promise you, it creates a little disconnect, a tiny bit. But those tiny bits do start to add up to the point where then they're like, well, Ken said everything's good, but is it really good? How do I know it's good? He also told me he's going to be there at 5:00 and he was there at 5:01. So it does start to build up that when you're making your commitments, deliver on those commitments, deliver it 100%, especially on the little ones. Because you need their trust. There are times where someone's going to be amped up, their temperature is going to be high. Maybe there's something going on in the transaction. We got to work through it. And I'm going to say, hey, look, I'm going to get it worked out. Okay? You and I are going to work this through. I'm not worried about it getting worked out. We just got to get the right documentation. They need to know that that's true. And if they don't, it's probably because you misaligned on a commitment earlier on in the relationship. Did he talk about that at all?
Yes. And this is what I took away from it. And I remember Tony Robbins saying this literally 21 years ago. 20 years ago, good built you a great business, got you a pension, or, kept your career going. Today, good gets you fired. And
It's a lot of pressure.
What's that?
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but it's the truth. Like the gap, right, is becoming a bigger gap. People in our businesses don't have a choice, Ken. Like we're either delivering a world-class service and experience, and there's a difference.
I agree.
There's a big difference. And you have to deliver both. You have to deliver both today.
Yeah, world-class service in my mind. An example of world-class service would be delivering a fast turn time on a pre-approval, right? Super fast, right? Like you apply at 9:00, and if you need that pre-approval letter by 10, here it is, and it's fully underwritten. That's world-class service. World-class experience is you're pre-approved, and by the way, you just opened your mailbox, and there's a little cookie in there from Princeton Mortgage. It says, congratulations on your pre-approval, right? That's the difference between experience and service in our world. And it's the same in the buyer agent's world, right? Like bringing a smile to someone's face. When they always say people won't always remember everything about the transaction, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
That's it.
That is the experience piece.
Yeah. So anyone, this is what I would suggest. And then I know we both have to roll. Part of the experience would be, again, I like to make it visual. So if I'm a real estate agent or a loan officer, and you just went under contract, you're the buyer, Ken.
Yep.
I'm going to pick up my phone, hit record, and I'm just going to go something like, hey, Ken, I know it's 8:00 at night. I don't usually send out messages like this, but I know you just went under contract, and I just wanted to check in to see like how you're doing, how you're feeling. Do you have any fears? Is there something that you feel is unanswered? I just want to check in to see how you and your family are doing. I want to make sure that you go to bed tonight like totally peaceful, knowing everything's being taken care of. That's what I'm doing. Now, I'll tell you, it doesn't have to be word for word. I can't say when I do something like that and somebody says, yeah, but maybe if you said it, I'm like, I'm just doing a podcast.
You get the idea.
I'm just doing a podcast. Settle down. And yes, I always spell your wrong. Sometimes I spell it. All right. So I failed English. Give me a break. So, but those are the things that Ed cares about me. He genuinely cares about me. And that's how you operate, dude. I've seen it. And that's why you have the business you do, and why people have this same. I've never heard somebody say, I can't stand that dude, Ken Jordan. He's never happy. He's not good at what he does. I literally have never.
You haven't asked enough people in Upper Darby, Ed.
And I've planted some pretty bad evidence on you, and still they're like, Ken would never do that, Ed. Maybe you would, Ed. Stop planting the bad evidence.
All right, so we're going to say action items for the people that are listening. God bless. 17 minutes and 45 seconds in. Look for opportunities in your buyer process to improve the experience. Look for opportunities to show them how much you care. And remember that they'll always remember how you made them feel. And that's going to determine the level of experience that you created for that buyer. And then you're going to increase your active referral business. And I will also, anyone that's interested, I'm going to make a book recommendation. The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, one of the books I've read in the last couple of months. Some great stuff in there about mavens and what an active referral is and what a maven is. So there's my book recommendation for the week. And I will let you we both have these 10:30s we got to get to, so we're already over time. But as always, man, I appreciate you, and I can't wait till next week.
Sounds good, brother. Have a great day.
Right.
See
you.
ya.
Got it. All right, let's make sure.